The rates are falling. The Fed keeps dropping the rates, and the 10-year Treasury is at an all-time low. The rates keep falling. Guys, I'm Aaron Impens, and today we're going to talk about what that means for you. All right, so the Fed continues to drop the rates. Continues. It seems, last year they talked about how the rates were going to keep going up. Or was that, let's see, maybe that was 2018 that they talked about how the rates were going to keep going up. And the market didn't respond well to that. So they said, whoa, just kidding. We're not going to keep raising those rates. And they haven't, and they've continually dropped. And most recently, a lot. It's almost to zero. Now, what does that mean for you? Okay, there's a couple different things that means. First off, if you're in a buying and rehabbing and reselling business, I do some of that. My main focus is obviously the long-term, the holds, but if you're in a business that is, again, rehabbing and reselling, your buyers are going to be able to get lower federally backed mortgages. You know, the rate for a 30-year term on a personal residence was, I don't know, 4, maybe 4.5 just a year ago. And I just the other day talked to someone that got a rate at 2.75 for a 30-year mortgage. Guys, that is almost free money. There is no reason to not take advantage of that. And it's something that you need to know is going on as well, to either pass on to your buyers or to make sure that anyone on your team that's selling your properties understands, or your real estate agent that you're working with, they should also understand that as well. It's something that is going to be a great sales pitch for your rehabs, for these people to be able to get into something that maybe is a little bit nicer. Maybe you can sell it for a little bit more because of the lower rates. Know what's going on. So what does that mean for you as an investor? Well, obviously it's going to translate, and you should be able to get a lower rate as well too. One thing that I want to make sure and tell you though, just because the Fed drops their rate down to 0 or 0.25 or whatever they get to at the moment, doesn't mean that your bank that you work with will correspond immediately right along with them. You know, if you're getting commercial loans, 5-year adjustable on a 15 or 20-year AM, and that's at 4.5%, and the Fed drops their rate, doesn't mean that now all of a sudden it's going to be at 3.75. It may mean that, but your bank doesn't have to necessarily go along with that. That's the rate at which they borrow their money, obviously. So if they don't drop their rates corresponding, it means that they're making just a little bit more, but at the same time, if they can't keep up with that rate drop, they're not going to change right along with you, or right along with the Fed, I should say. So again, it should translate to you, and it should be a conversation that you have with your banker that says, hey, I have interest that's at 4.5%. Can I refinance my commercial loans and get those down to 4% or 3.75 or 3.5 or 3.25? Again, it's a conversation that you can have. I want you to be aware of what's going on. If that's not something that you pay attention to, maybe it is something that you should pay attention to. For that matter, you could even call your credit card company up and say, hey, the rate has gone down, the Fed rate has gone down. Can we lower my interest rate on my credit card? They may tell you no, but if you're aware of what is going on, take advantage of it. Use the knowledge that you have or that you're getting and take advantage of it. Again, for your buyers, personal residences, this is no better time than to be getting into a mortgage right now. The money is so cheap. You'll see many people refinancing their loans. Back to you as an investor, if you have these long-term rentals as well, like I do, my main focus, you could take a look at refinancing your long-term loans. For instance, again, if you've got a 4.5% interest rate, you can refinance that down to 3.75. That may make a lot of sense to you. One thing I want to encourage you, if you look to refinance, I encourage you to not reset your amortization. So for instance, if I take a 5-year adjustable on a 15-year amortization and I've paid down on that for 5 years, I don't want to then refinance and restart it back over at 15 years. I lose all of the advantage of the refinance if I restart the amortization. So pay attention to that as well too when you're asking these and having these conversations with your bank. Again, guys, this is just something to be aware of, something to make sure that you're paying attention to, taking advantage of, and have those conversations. I'll remind you, the worst thing that a bank can tell you is no, or the worst thing that a credit card company could tell you is no. That's it, that's the worst. Then you just move forward and you proceed with what you already have currently set up with them. So again, take it for what it's worth, pay attention to what's going on. Guys, my name's Aaron Infants. I appreciate you tuning in. I've got many more tips, many more advice, or a lot more advice to share. We go over things like this and real estate, business structure, things like that on this channel. I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Leave me some comments below. Let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you want to see in other videos. See you guys next time.